power picks. They have missed one ban, which is the Maestro Nui. Will they respect it now? But Boom Esports be on the other side, they respect it. Nova on the priority of getting the Zhongfei. No bans at all. I was kind of expecting the team might be respected, but no. Okay, what is the opening here? Arlie, they're gonna give it away. Arlie and Dharma. Oh, no, never mind. Dharma's out. Arlie and Arthur Lady Sun here for Boom Esports.
Maybe. I think Lady Sun Prio's a little bit weird. Maybe we'll see Lung come through, or I mean, there we go. Okay, they go for the Lady Sun again. I mean, Azar had a great performance on it, right? So I thought maybe the Lung would come through now because it's a good pick. It has the disengage. He can be aggressive. There we go. See, Nova knows. Nova knows. If Boom Team doesn't know, then Nova knows, right? So Zhongfei into the Lung, into the Ganon Mo. Nova finally picking up this pick for themselves.
Ganon Mo taking the best counter out of the Zhongfei and the Lung as well. So you have the reach, you have the Flaming Palms against the Lady Sun, and with this kind of threat in the farm lane, you need to pair it with something else. Okay, this opens up the Liu Bang for Boom Esports. This might be, or this can still go into Clash lane, or just get the Dalian Po or the Nazha that we've seen on this combo, depending on how they want to take the map. Because they know how Suwon rotates with Nova Esports capitalizing on the map as early as maybe level 8 minutes. And maybe that could be a great counter. That's why they're taking out the Guan Yu too.
Yeah, Guan Yu get taken out, right? He has a lot of direction and can kind of dictate a lot of the team fights, right? So I think it's a good call for the side of Boom to take that off because it is one of those picks that Shuan can actually play very well and very precisely. Taking off the Elaine as well gives another deny to the backline of Boom Esports, and then they take the Ming out as well. So clearly they might have thought, hey, well, they've had Lady Sun a few times now. Maybe the Ming is going to be the pairing because they can't have the Zhongfei. The Liu Bang is there for now, which could be flexed into the Clash or even the support role. But for now, we'll see that kind of come into a more of a clearer picture as Boom Esports decide to pick this fourth and fifth pick right here on their side. So they're looking for either a mid or a Clash or a mid and a support.
Ooh, I think that is the great strategy now that Boom Esports has been doing, because this is still a flex, and the Nova is really eye on taking that perfect combo for the Lady Sun to work. The Ming and the Diadia front line. Oh, of course, the Mayin. How can you make an uncomfortable long using that infinite vastness over and over again? We've seen a great Mayin plays, and we have a claw sprayer even here downstairs. And in this game, Boom Esports would really has a way to keep Nova's back line off guard.
Yeah, the Liu Bang and the Dune can work very well together as well, right? The Unruly Blade goes in, he has nobody around him, then Nova Esports have then got to guess like, hey, is Liu Bang going to come in? Is he not? Oh, no, he goes on to the Mayin instead, because Mayin's found the way into the back line. But again, a good counter is even they can dive into the front line, or they can basically preempt the Mayin coming through, because you've got the Masashi, you've got the Byron this time. So these picks are the first time it's going to go over to Nova, so it's going to be really interesting to see Shuan on the Byron and then CY on the Musashi.
They're going in hard and aggressive here. Nova really want to probably close this game for their side, but Boom Esports, how will they counter this with a mid lane pick? Lady Zhen. Okay, behind the curtains of Zhongfei, there goes the iceberg of Lady Zhen, and this would really shake things up once more. We're heading to game number 4. Oh, wow, I'm excited to see how the adjustment will work here. Like, look at Nova Esports. It's still in favor, but if the Liu Bang here is just an amazing pickup for Boom Esports to capitalize on. Like, they have more control of the map, they have a way to counter out Suwon's pressure and rotation, and with this, execution will be in check as well. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, I mean, if Boom Esports are able to find the right initiation and to get, to isolate Zhongfei and maybe bait out his unbridled outburst, I think they might have a decent time because they do have a decent amount of team fight. They have a bunch of damage and a lot of control and just a lot of good things that you want on this lineup. But it's really going to come back to how does Wei Pit actually go into these fights.
Yeah, I mean, the Zhongfei's basically been at a 100% win rate within this entire series, right? So I feel like, if anything, it could be the playmaker or the win denier, right? So right now, it could be the upset for the Zhongfei success rate within this series. Now the fact that Boom gets the Lu Bang, again, another one of their hot pot picks.
Yeah, I think that's the one word here that's really is similar for Nova and Boom Esports. Who is the playmaker here? We see either the Waypit or Suwon. For the other side, we see Miggy and even Impressive. So both of those amazing 4 players that we're seeing right now in this game could make or break a situation in this status on this best of 5. So we're seeing pressure here building up onto the farm lane, pushing out Azar, giving space for Muchi by taking this objective. Another gold for Muchi taken.
Yeah, the Illuminator Slash comes through there, just trying to give a bit of pressure onto the side of Boom Esports. Azar just to kind of stop that rolling raid come through. And CY is already level 4, so is Jizzix as well. So they're kind of keeping that stable footed in terms of the XP.
Oh, death! Oh, the unruly went back.
It kind of stopped the CC immunity there, right? So the knockup was denied. Sean should have this Clash Lane 1v1 any day of the week. But the Flaming Palms do connect onto Azar as well. So Flaming Palms do a lot of damage, especially when you kind of procced the 2 first skills onto his passive, right?
Yeah, and he used his flash as well, Muchi. Now he really needs to be on level 4 here to escape possible invades that the Liu Bang and Lady Sun will do, mainly from Azar. So he needs to be more capable on using that effectively, because the one thing that the Long is known for is an aggressive infinite vastness or a defensive infinite vastness, depending on how they want to start. Because with that kind of a thing that Long has, it all boils down on how the lineup will work with the Zhang Fei. You have to make it work with recovery and as well as spacing. Oh, look at that. Taking hits, Miki taking some damage up top.
Yeah, like I said, the Byron just hits so hard in that early game. That 1v1 in the Clash lane is always going to go in the favor of the Byron. It's a very, very hard-hitting hero. Right now, we're trying to see that Nova just trying to claim some of that little bits of gold from the side of Boom, trying to stop that lead. But the couple blades come through. Doesn't really do much onto the Doom.
Yeah, and then I was right. Drinking water there. Excuse me. And now going back on this game, Nova is just completely trying to make their way through the 5-minute mark. And as we wait for the goal to arise here, see why? Okay. Slowly building a lead as Musashi needs damage, has more capable of reach between Boom Esports team fighting capability. But the one thing that we want to observe is also how Dragon is just rotating from mid to top lane, mainly because of the playmakers that we're trying to talk about. It's just a bit of a pressure to start once they get a kill. I think that's the thing that I observe from these two. Once they get a kill from the Clash lane, that's where the pressure starts.
Yeah, I mean the side lane, and then it falls into the mid lane, and then it falls into the furthest lane from them, that farm lane. And right now, we're seeing that the gold difference is not too much. It's about a 1k gold to the side of Nova Esports for now. We're seeing a little bit of a rotation here from Waypit. They do force themselves back into the T1 down into the farm lane, but nothing is really happening because they know that if Boom takes this as a 2-2, it's going to be harder for the hype of Nova to overcome this loss.
Waypit is just maintaining this position. Great avenue too for Angle. Okay, one thing to note, where is Miggy would come from?
Waypit taking a lot of damage. He's going to go. The Unbridled Outburst just barely keeping him alive, but the Tyrant has been taken by CY. The Battlefield Command is going to be there, but Waypit is going to give up first blood, and they want to go for Xuan. They have to throw out the flowing side. He turns us around. He is not afraid, but he is going to go down as Azar takes another pickoff.
Yeah, very well played there by both Boom and Nova. They played it a lot more calculated than previously around that neutral objective. There was a lot more of a aggressive play for it, right? 'Cause I mean, that Tyrant first off is always going to be setting up your first T1 takedown in the turret lane, right? Like, even depending on which lane you go for, you are going to be able to claim that T1 a lot quicker with the neutral objective.
Yeah, speaking of objective, Wendy really took advantage by using that Forge Blaze onto the Golem, securing or sticking a great foot out of Boom Esports palms. But okay. So we've seen the prowess there, but it was just a great timing for Wavy to just pop off that Unbridled Outburst in the last moment. But with that kind of start, they're now taking the first T1 down bottom. Muchi with no guard at all from Boom Esports by taking this Overlord. They were willing to risk this for that.
Yeah, lose one T1 into the farm lane is not the be-all or end-all. It's more of a an issue for Lady Sun, so Azar, because he's a level 8. They're both level 8 right now. They're both pretty much similar in the gold right now as well. Flaming Palms do connect into the backline, but I don't think anything's going to be committed too much because the range is now being cut off.
Yeah, speaking of range, look at that. Look at the peel coming in from Wendy. And this time, we see Dragon most likely wait for the right moments to put that icebergs right on. He's almost on level 8. I think with the advance of EXP from Wendy that he has right now, he just keeps laying busy. Like, look at the damage up top here. Azar receiving pokes as well.
Oh, but they found CY. They got him caught out. It was a 3-on-1. Wendy, all he could do is just watch his buddy go down.
That's hard.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to watch your friend just go down in front of you, right? It's like seeing a bit of a life before your eyes. They are able to get that T1 up into the Clash lane as well. This is just typical Nova. I mean, they did this in the last match, right? So I don't want to say it's their key to victory, but it helps, right? It helps get that early game kind of presence in those lanes. It helps them kind of clean up the jungle surface area that they didn't quite have access to begin with. We see that Xuan is going down with the teleport mechanic to kind of clear off that T1 bot lane to keep it safe.
Yeah, speed of being safe, right? And we're looking at the gold lead slowly is still with Nova Esports counting almost 2K. And going back to the damage items there, we're seeing the Eternity Blade now present for Luong, and Wendy has been great in stealing those buffs away, but I think they have spotted 3 here into Boom Esports camp. But going back there, they really want to keep G6 starving here by giving all the buffs to Wendy there. It's a bit of a problem. This is the high damage book of the Gun and Mo can have. They could rinse and repeat, and we're seeing focus of pressure slowly building up by Suan into this bottom lane.
Yeah, Mooch just lands those flaming bombs onto those T2, right?
Oh, nice little knock off the Umbrella Loppers. It's gonna miss, but the Battlefield Command keeping him alive, and he will survive, but they lose the bottom T2. Impressive with a nice save, but again, not enough to keep that structure alive.
Yeah, it was a bit of a superheroes kind of like trade, right? It's like, do you take the girl or do you take the tower where there's loads of people that's kind of like surviving in there? And they decided to keep their teammate alive rather than the T2 down into the farm lane. So again, I think it's a little bit of a mistake. They could have kind of just sacrificed the Mayin, maybe try and go back in and re-engage that team fight to go in the favor of Boom. And right now, it's looking like that's going to open up with that Flaming Palms, man. Level 11, level 10, sorry, and Moochie's hitting hard.
Okay, speaking of hitting hard, man, we've seen, I think, Boom or Nova, I think Nova specifically, know how to address the assignment, how to counter Boom Esports. That kind of stuff that they did, they're just making things uncomfortable, and by using that outburst, they make Boom Esports react. With that kind of situation, they don't want kills, they just want to take the map for their own, and as they take another objective away from Boom Esports, they want to keep on doing this kind of pressure, starting from the bottom lane, and now going to the top lane, taking that T2. They need to defend this right away.
Yeah, and I think Nova in the last game, they were baited out by the team fights. They were trying to go for kills, but in this one, they need to go with objectives, and it looks like they're just kind of playing it safer. They're being very calculated with what they go for, and right now, it's all about the objectives here.
Yeah, you see that Wendy's just kind of like phase checking, right? Just making sure that Mayin's not going to be able to go into a team fight with that perfect health. But right now, Xuan
Sword Strike, they do have logistics. They got the duel to the death, but the Battlefield Command, the Wind Slash is going to be used in return. He does go down. They don't have enough to save him. CY is just barely hanging on. Azar's going to be picked off. Xuan, impressive, flashes over the wall. They will back off, but they've lost 2.
That was an awe-inspiring unbridled outrage, not from impressive though.
Yeah, I think Boom Esports overstepped that position, and they really was forcing Boom Esports to use that Battlefield Command. With 2 ultimates gone, mainly for a powerful counter for pressure, Nova Esports, one thing they has been doing correctly, they just want to keep shaking up Boom Esports right now. I know you don't want to fight this moment, but yeah, we will keep on shaking the trees here to get those apples right after you.
This is what I mean, like, this is why I don't understand why, like, Lung wasn't actually kind of considered for Boom a lot early within this series, right? Because, I mean, Flaming Palms is just a great siege mechanic. It's hurt so much on these turrets, and it just never ends. It just gets worse and worse and worse for your opponent. For yourself, it is for the betterment of your team to be able to lay the smack down and get those siege mechanics come through, just because Lung's just Flaming Palms hurt that bad.
Yeah, imagine Flaming Palms and Forge Blades. And he wants to seal this again.
He didn't get it. He didn't get it. Yeah. No. The smite claimed it.
The smite, yeah. He forced another smite too. Okay, so good. Well, I think it's a good thing and a bad thing, but since they forced out a smite, Overlord is here though. I think they don't want to commit them just yet, but I think they want to keep Miggy onto the counter pressure too, because on all lanes they have more ways to respond to this. Impressive is here, being the Liu Bang, has more ways to respond, and they need to utilize this lineup once more because they don't need to be in one position right now. That thing has been going around from the previous matches. They have been caged in their own base. They need to make impressive work by either using them as bait or use this kind of loss that they can do against Nova.
I mean, this is the typical kind of Midgie that we, the Impressive that we see, right? He's able to go away from these lanes. He's able to actually give a lot of pressure to themselves in a far away land, and then use the battlefield command to come back in. So he's able to kind of work down into the bot lane, right? But that is going to be the speed rush for the Shadow Overlord to negate that macro push.
Yeah, it was denied, man. He was really trying to reap something out of that bottom lane. All he can do right now is probably hold this enhanced Overlord, the Vanguard right now bottom, or he might be forced to team fight here. The Nova Esports has been looking for that way. Like, will he be the answer here by denying this and the Overlord down bottom? Because with the aid of the Shadow Vanguard as well, it has more time. It has been doing great work.
Yeah. Speaking of time, they don't really have that right now with the high ground turret, right? They're kind of pushing at all fronts. They've got the Vanguards as well. It's mitigating this effort by Impressive.
Yeah, he's holding it through. Another Vanguard showing up. Minions pushing in. I think they would really force, and they called in Nova Esports to find him though. But yeah, the Alpha Command will really make his back home safe.
Yeah, he's able to recall safely for now on the side of Boom Esports. Impressive with the majestic play down into the bot lane. Trying to get that T2, trying to open up the base for Boom once more. But speaking of base opening, it could be here that Nova finds the way into Boom's base. Chuan is going from the mid, and then we have the other four of Nova here as well.
Dragon solo, the Umbrella Outburst pushing him back. Boom Esports were trying to hold, but they took so much damage from Wendy. Those couple of blades are starting to hit like a truck.
Oh man, the truck. Right, that's Waypit, and they have been really doing things here uncomfortable against Boom Esports, and Dragon was almost gone. Another high ground turret taken. But this will really deploy another great wave of minions here. This lane alone could really be in autopilot.
Yeah, for now. We're kind of seeing that Boom is able to survive that one with damage limitation, right? I mean, the high ground turret in the farm lane has been a bit of an issue for them to lose, but they didn't lose the mid. That could have been the worst case scenario for Boom. And it still could be a scenario for Boom. But for now, they get to have a bit of a breather because we see that Nova have gone back into their own jungle to get a little bit more resources for themselves. But is that going to be enough time to breathe? Because if they go and get the resources, a lot more damage is going to come through on the side of Nova.
Yeah, the lead slowly building up at 5K right now by Nova Esports. This could still be turned around at the right moment, depending, but it might take an ace and even a push in the mid. But because this thing that has been really holding on is the mid lane turret. This three defenses rather, and Nova Esports has been very crucial. But look at the position of Miggy here. He's not letting go of the vision just yet, but somebody got spotted.
Oh, on the backside of the battlefield, Command, the Umbrella Outburst pushing him away. The nice two-man knockup, but Miggy's been killed. Not even able to get his spells off. Impressive on the run, ride the wind, knocking him up. Wendy knocking him down. Nova Esports take a free Tyrant.
Yeah, that was a nice little combo there from Wendy and Lung Muchi here. So this is the thing that I really wanted for Boom, right? The Ride of the Wave sets up the Ganon mode naturally. He takes flight for a very short amount of time, but the couple blades is able to then land precisely.
Yeah, there's a...
Ride the wind, the flaming the ball. Oh, Azar gets blown up. Muchi with the style points. Now he looks to take the T3. Nova Esports knocking on the door. The base wide open. The couple blades doing some damage on the Dragon. He gets blown up. Wendy gets the kill on him. They get the ace, and Nova Esports will win the series, and they will move on.
Yeah, Nova Zero, Nova Team Esports, Nova Zero, that's a new one for me. Nova Esports taking that 3-1 victory over Boom, and they are pretty chilled about it, right? They are coming back from a defeat that they didn't, it looked like they calculated for, right? It was like, hey, we're going to take this 3-0, caught off guard. Let's come back in that game 4 and dominate. And that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, we have eliminated a team here, a representative from the Philippines, Boom Esports in the lower bracket.